Facebook, and this is the account of Viedma in Peru, and I'm live on YouTube, and this is the account of Viedma in Peru. So whatever suits you, I invite you to this short live. The topic is the Tree of Life and Gaia. So what is Gaia in comparison with the Tree of Life, and what exactly is the Tree of Life? So the topic is basically Veda, the ancient knowledge, and a little bit of shamanism. Yeah. And who am I? I am Joanna Joanna Hołuj. I'm Polish, and that's my pronunciation in Polish. In fact, I'm Asia, Joasia, because that's the version of Joanna in Polish, and that's good because it's connected to Asia and the center oś, which more or less is also this center. Oś is the, how do you say in English? It's this kind of road, it is center. And that's what the Tree of Life is too. And I like it in my codes. But basically, I'm a Viedma. Viedma means it's not a witch, all right? That it also manipulated and distorted your English word. But it's just somebody who has some Vedic, wiedmic, old, ancient knowledge. So that's what I do. And basically I help with your matrix, and matrix is, your matrix are your codes, basically what is installed inside of you, and what kind of reflects also the universe. But you need to know that, you need to know yourself in order to kind of order your life, put some order in your life, and work with your blockages, yeah, mental and corporal and emotional blockages. So that's what I do. I do the holistic analysis, and all the information is on my website, from matrix2self.com. So I invite you to check my website. I offer also sessions and sessions of your life metamorphosis. I can help you with that. I do it in Polish, English, French, and English. Polish, English, French, and Spanish. Yeah. So I invite you to that, and there are also many other things available in my store online, so you can go and check it. There are webinars that are not only in Polish like books, but they are also in English and French. All right, so let's start the topic. The Tree of Life. I wonder if you know what it is, but if you put in your Google, uncle, this name, the Tree of Life, because maybe you are young and you wonder what that may be. So the Tree of Life, it will come out. You will have different pictures, yeah? And it may come just a tree. Now, beware, because the true philosophical Veda, Tree of Life, this is very universal and this is very metaphysical. And it should be in the picture, it should be shown as the tree with branches, yeah, leaves, green or not green, depending on what picture you've got. But here is the trunk, and the true Tree of Life needs to be with roots in the ground. So basically it's like that. The form is like this, yeah. So here are roots, just like your fingers, like this. So it's rooted in the ground. Now what is this ground? I will say in a moment. It's rooted, and then you've got this trunk, the center, this alignment, yeah, and the energy passes through that, up and down, and should pass well. However, in nowadays world, it doesn't pass so smoothly, but it should pass like that to the trunk and up to the branches. Now, And this is the proper picture of the tree of life, because it needs to be rooted down and kind of rooted, or just go up until it goes high, high, high in the sky, and the branches are all in the sky and all in the oxygen as well. Yeah. And yeah, now many times you will see the tree which is cut off and you don't have roots. That's not correct. It's like one part of the picture, kinda, because roots are very much important. You cannot really grow where and go high, high, high if you don't have roots. So that should be like this. Now, think. This tree of life is just like a symbol or metaphor of what? A big metaphor of the human person, body, and a being, in fact, any being, not really only on this planet, any being. It should be like this. Yeah? And in fact, it's also a metaphor of the whole universe, which is like this. It's moving. And yeah, you can kind of complicate it a little bit more, or kind of understand, or just think a little about your school biology, how it works. Yeah. So it's like, here is some oxygen and here is some carbon. Yeah. And it's like the exchange. And also there is also the exchange between the ground and the sky, because that's what the tree does. Yeah, it grows, and that's what the human also does. It's here, it's the ground, walking on the ground, and here goes up and up and up, and looks up in the sky and wants to see the stars and sky and sun, and kind of have big ideas, want to grow something themselves, and something like their ideas, family, business, whatever. And that's what you do. You reach up, but you need to be well grounded. That's the metaphor of everything, basically. That's the tree of life. Now, the thing is that you need to be well rooted, and rooted is here. The roots are in the ground. Now, this ground, you will have other symbols that go with that, and that's your Gaia, really. Yeah, basically Gaia, it's all the organic world. It's all the nature, plants, ground, down the ground, and so on. And it also goes up in the sky, and yeah. But in philosophy, you've got here this part down, okay, the trunk of the tree. So this tunnel joining two parts. It's here. It joins the ground, which is basically all what is how do you say, the roots are everything, like your minerals, your food, your all your richness, your well-being, so on. It's here, yeah, down here. And also your family background, your ancestors, your country, your really ground, your house, your stability, your also your values. It's that, those roots. So you cannot really cut off yourself from that and think, no, I'm just from here, or like from here up there, and I'm just in the sky and those ideas. That's not sufficient. You will not be, if you are not well grounded in Gaia, in that roots, in the ground, and if you do not have, like a human, all those minerals, food, and so on and so on, if you do not have stability, if you are not standing well on your feet, you will not work well developing your ideas. Yeah, so that's important, that part. And in philosophy, that part, we call it, yeah, we can call it Gaia, we call it Gal. And yeah, why? Because if you look at the philosophical tree of life, can have the form of a tree, really, but can have a form of those points, circles, connected with lines, and then you will see the figures and shapes, and you will see that down there's this shape like a triangle down, and this is a little the shape that you call about that you talk about feminine energy, women. Even if you go to the toilet, sometimes you've got two triangles, and one triangle is for women, it's like that, and other triangle is like that, is for men. Have you seen that? So here is the triangle for feminine energy, and this is what it's like, the cup, no, it's like the Graal. So that's what it is. The Graal, it's all your resources, your source of energy, of food, of everything is in Gaia ground, because it's all feminine. It's the feminine aspect, it's the woman. Yeah, it's her also womb. Yeah. So this is this part, and it's very, 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 very much important. Yeah, and it's very, very much important. Not only it's what's in here, in kind of on the ground, the grass. No, down, 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 down there. It's also important. Your family, ancestor. I don't know. So other values or your other past incarnations, maybe depending what's your idea of life. But I hope I'm talking to some conscious beings. So that's your Graal, yeah, that's this part of the tree, and it's very, very much important. Now here's the trunk, and on this with circles, tree of life that you can get from, you put for example tree of life in Kabbalah or tree of life in West Eastern teachings, you will get that, and you will have then kind of like squares or cubes. If you want to have it in perspective, kind of like forms, perspective forms, yeah, like in geometry, cyclic geometry, you will rather get cubes, for example, and that will be your trunk, and you will have those kind of two cubes, and which will be this tunnel, and then you've got this head, which is like that. It's this other triangle, and we call it a head, we call it a cap, and it this sky part, and that's the what, the masculine energy, the yang, and this is this part of ideas, mental consciousness, and so on. Now don't think that only here is consciousness, because mental, there's consciousness of the mental part of, for example, if we put those circles, what are those circles? For example, those can be centers of energy, or you can say those are chakras as well. Because sometimes you just don't draw tree of life like that, but you draw it just like the trunk on a human, and then you've got those 7 circles, which are, there are more chakras than 7, but basically 7 are those that known to everybody, and then you've got this really like the trunk, like the tree, basically trunk, yeah. So this upper part will be this more like this part of the rainbow, more like bluish violet, yeah. So that's the mental part. Now down there will be like a reddish orange part, okay. Those will be those down chakras, but consciousness is in both, ego as well. So the feeling of you, of yourself, is in 2 parts, but this aspect up is more like masculine energy, and it's more like mental, yeah, and down there is more like corporal. So here is more like matter, and here is more like energy, you could say. But there should be exchange. Now, I just said, there should be exchange, good circulation, just like in your body, in your systems, nervous system, blood system, I don't know, digestive system. It's based all in that, on that, yeah. So it's like circling. The thing is, we are not really living in a fully organic matrix, fully organic matrix. Some people installed over that kind of put the tree of everybody and basically of the galaxy, and I don't know, the whole what is kind of barriers, I would say, or stops, or blockages. Therefore, we are connected as well to some artificial part of the matrix. What you call, what is your matrix? Matrix is like, basically there's organic and not organic. Yeah, and you need to think about that. I already checked my transmission, my live I did 2 days ago, and it was about codes and symbols. They are all distorted, and right now the epoch is to go back to the organic source, or by organic tree of life, connect ourselves to that, and disconnect everything which blocks you from that. And we need to kind of be conscious of what we do, but just be careful with all the symbols and egregors and entities and paths that can lead you astray as well. But basically, check the tree of life, because tree of life is exactly we, us, you. And I just wanted to tell you that check all the possibilities of the tree of life, not only the old images that you've got, because if you check it well, you will see that there are many more aspects of tree of lives that were kind of hidden from us. Depending if you speak English or speak Polish or speak Spanish or speak French or whatever, it was kind of hidden or not kind of close to you, to your knowledge, to your sources. But right now everything's, because it's disclosure time, and we are close to the end of the artificial matrix. But help people be conscious. So kind of everything goes appears up from underground. So disclosure, it means it's opening from the hidden and so on. So now probably you've seen there's this person who's called, I don't want to say, I will say her name in 2 parts, because I don't want to connect to that. I'm not really aligned with what she's saying, but she's telling lots of truth as well, but her proposition is not really correct. This person is called Ayana Dean. Yeah. Now that's all knowledge that is connected to New Age, and she's been talking like for over 20 years now, and that's fine. Everybody has her right to do it. Now, in that knowledge, there is the new version, but this is the true version of the tree of life, because there in the Kabbalah tree of life, Kabbalah is taken from the ancient Arya Chaldean knowledge. It's not Semitic, because they didn't invent anything. So in this basic, you've got centers of power, 10 or 11, not more, because they cannot really go more than to the 11th, because those centers of power that are in a way chakras, are in a way planets, are in a way real entities, beings, conscious beings, which planets are also conscious beings, but those are also levels of consciousness, and those are also dimensions. So they kind of cut themselves off, and they could go, and they can go only up to the 11th. But that's not true about the tree of life, because yeah, of course, our DNA was blocked in many ways, and with everything, the surroundings, this firmament, this our food that is distorted, that is manipulated, that is changed, that is poisoned, and our possibilities to grow, because if you are taller, that's better for your brain, really, and for your consciousness, really. Doesn't mean that you cannot be conscious if you're not at all. But I'm just saying that those beings, for example, the first coming out, first seeding, so-called, or second seeding, were just much bigger than us. Yeah, but what I'm saying, those dimensions, there are more than 11. You've got 12, 13, 14, 15 or more. Yeah, and there is that's the true tree of life. Yeah, so there is this graal down there, and there is this head, but this head is much higher than previously we could see it or discover. Yeah, or that even secret societies told you, like Masonic and others. They didn't tell you all because they didn't want you to know all. But basically, you can go high in your growing of your consciousness, high, up to 12, 13, and 14, and so on dimensions. Of course, depending what you, how you do it, because yeah, we are separated. Most people, kind of all of us, are cut off here, meaning this upper part of young, mental, and so on is cut off from the matter. So here it's not passing well. And it's not only about DNA, nothing is passing well. That's why we've got problems, mental problems, disconnection from the body, we don't feel well our body, and so on and so forth. Yeah. And basic stuff is just to slowly, I know you raise your consciousness because you just grab more and more knowledge. But in this world right now, you can grab and you can get to know things rapidly because you've got everything is shortened and speed up. So you've got reels, you don't have to read books anymore, you can listen to them and yeah. So means that you need to go up and kind of understand yourself. Come and do the holistic analysis, understand your matrix, not only from one perspective, from one path. It's not only astrology, tropical, not only numerology, and then you've got this and this and this separately, and you understand nothing about yourself because it doesn't connect in your eyes to each other. Yeah, I do the holistic analysis because it connects 5 basic old ancient paths, and then I add my knowledge, how to connect all that, understand, interwoven, and how to kind of understand much more, like your name, your dates, your numbers, your how all this makes your big patchwork, your matrix, what are your blockages, and basically what is really your matrix connected to your soul and oversoul, so your spirit, and what really is not your matrix. It was kind of karma or something put on you through generations, through and through your probably incarnations, and it's not really yours. They put it so you don't go forward. Yeah, so you can just unblock it, but it's all the big process. Yeah, depending on your bodies, mental understanding everything mentally, consciously, your part of your feeling, part of your emotions, your body, and connect all that. But it's not only that. I invite you also to the course I'm doing. Okay, next year I start all the Academy of Gaiosofia, and it's for Indigo people, Indigo crystal, rainbow, adult children, and parents of children, for all those who are feeling a little lost. I know there are many ideas how to deal with that, but that's a huge mission, and there are lots of crystal people right now in the world, and they are not dealing well with the world because they came too early, quickly saying. But I invite you to this course that we've got. I will do it with my friend Agnieszka, and it can be in English as well, depending on the group that we form. We both speak English, and if you are not really English native, then I also speak French and Spanish. We can deal with all that, but we can help you. And I also want to start the Back to Your Mystic Femininity course and the course Shamanic-Vedic course, which I just want to tell you, there is no just like here are shamans and here are wiedmins or some Vedic people or some Kundalini yoga on this or this or this or this or this. Yeah, it's not like that. The Veda, the ancient knowledge, is holistic. So let's just connect that. And if you come to this course, I will teach you. I probably will also cooperate with Agnieszka. We are a big team together. We are just working well, and we can help you with your powers, how to do better what you do, yeah, and not really connect yourself to some path, to some egregor, to some initiations. Just don't do that. You need to connect only to yourself, your true higher self, and nothing else. Yeah, so that's it from me, I think. I wish you good luck with all your consciousness development, and just observe me here on YouTube, on Facebook, and I'm putting connected to different brands of mine. I'm putting lives every day now, in Polish, in English, and I think I'm not saying exactly the same in Polish and English, and so if you can understand Polish and English, check both. And I invite you to listen to my and watch my reels, for example, on YouTube and Facebook, and check my website, from matrix to self.com. In Polish, it's Joanna, Joanna Holuj, ch.pl. So check it, check the offer, and there are lots of free stuff from me as always. But I invite you also to dig more, and those are paid courses. Bye-bye. And I did all this without my glasses. Okay, all right. I don't like glasses too much, but I need them.